currently looking at the turntable. The left hand side of it has been weathered, the right hand side of it hasn't. This was just so you could have a comparison and see how it looked. This section of the video was supposed to be in the last episode, but I had some technical difficulties and I couldn't get it in time. So it's in this video. So I just thought I'd show you around. I used a acrylic wash, mainly black, and then around the edge of the turntable I used a burnt umber and dry brushed over the top of the brickwork, and I'm quite pleased with how it looks. The next section of video is going to focus on the construction of the retaining walls. This is the kit that I'll be using to build the retaining wall just as the exit of the main station. So here's how it's going so far. So I've removed all of the pieces of card from the cutout sheets, taken out all of this excess bits of card from the walls there. So then leaves you with this frame now. I keep these just in case I need offcuts of anything. And there's still more of it on that side I need to do, but I'll pick up the camera again when I've made some more progress. So this is where the retaining wall is going. As you can see, I already have a ramped incline, retaining wall, on this side. So then I'll have the full height ones going across the middle, and I need to build those before I can put this bridge in, so I can then use that to support the bridge. So they will go along here, and I've already built the other side as well, and they will go along here. I'm still I need to decide how I want this to be carved in to look, but we'll get there when I get there. The first one is now nearly done. All I have to do now is fit the stonework on the top, but apart from that, this one is now done. So one down and 3 more to go on this set. This came with the girder bridge that I bought on eBay. It came with 2, but it was too tall, so it wasn't tall enough with just the one, so I took the other one and cut the top of it off, and then glued the bottom of it to this one to make it as the height that it needs to be. So that fits perfectly now under the girder bridge. Now I've just been trying here with some different enamel paints that I've got, seeing what I wanted to paint the girder bridge. I do think this is a little bit too shiny, but I might use it as a base layer, because I do really like how it looks, and I could then do something like this and then weather it up a bit. And these two are both a matte finish on the paint, but yeah, I do really like the shine that this one gives, and see the difference between the different paints there. Yeah, so just thought I'd show you this before I wrap it in some paper. This came with the retaining wall kit, and it's just this strip off the top here, which pretty much perfectly is the height of the rim around the bottom. So what I'm going to do is cover the bottom of this in that, because I don't really like the way that the 3D bricks look. I prefer the way a paint looks with the Metcalf brick, and then it will match a lot more with the retaining walls that are either side. So I'll show you what that looks like. So this is where the column is going. So it is designed to go with the girder bridge, and it does go really nicely. And as I said, I've got it so it is pretty much flush. It just needs a little slither of card, which I'll put on the bottom. So then I'll use some plastic glue to then glue the pillar onto the bridge. So if I need to move the bridge, the pillar will come with it. So that way then I'll put the packing at the bottom of it to then lift it up so it does not have that gap at the top. But yeah, so I'm going to try and make it look so it's the same sort of architecture design as the retaining walls that are going around. Now I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but the retaining walls on this side I have left there this little strip in between, whereas on this side the strip isn't there. That is deliberate, it's not an accident. It's so that this level of the bridge can then be a bit lower, because I didn't want to cut this down because I really like how it looks at this height. So I thought if I just didn't put that in between, I thought that would hide it a bit and make it the height that I wanted it. So it is slightly on the downhill, but it's not too drastic. So I'm quite liking how that's looking, and as you can see, I'm just trying out and seeing if that's where I want the signal box or not. I'm trying to decide where that's going, to be honest. I need one somewhere around here, but I'm not really sure where I want it. I had originally plans to have a cutting here, that it was going to sit there on the same level as the track, but yeah, I'm not sure how I want that. So I just thought I would show you my process of cleaning some of my Locos. I have recently cleaned my Virgin Voyager, and as you saw in the last video, that is running very well now. It had gotten to the point where it was very slow, so I decided to take out the bogie and the driven bogies and clean them, and it worked really well, so I decided to do it with this one. But I just thought I'd give you a comparison of how much dust gets into the wheels. The one on the left I have just cleaned, the one on the right I haven't cleaned yet. So just a reminder to everyone, don't forget to clean out your Locos. I've now finished cleaning these out, and you can see the improvement. A lot less dust. And I've also cleaned out through here. Just thought I would show you the amount of dust that came out of this Loco, and the size of some of the bits of dust were immense, and you can imagine how much they would have clogged up and slowed down the Loco's performance. So I made sure that I also, once I'd cleaned out all of the dust, that I re-lubricated all of the gears and the worm gear in the Loco. I also made sure to clean the electrical pickups for the Loco to ensure that it was picking up the electricity it needed to operate. I did this by gently scraping, wiping the dust residue off the tops of it, and also making sure that they were all in contact with the wheels, which I had already cleaned the sides of to make sure that there was enough of electrical connection. So after all the cleaning and checks were complete, I've reassembled the Loco and tested its performance to see how it was now running. I seem to have lost the audio for this section, so I'll talk you through what's happening. While I was servicing my Class 350 electrical unit, I decided that I would replace the spring that was missing on the end that you can see here. This spring, disappeared. It flung off when I was at my old house, never to be seen again. I tried repairing it by fitting another one, but it didn't fit properly. So, to replace the spring, I went to my local model shop and bought this packet of couplings and springs. You get 10 in a pack, and all I needed was, I've got under the wagon that needs the spring, and I'll have that then as in my stash of bits and bobs, so I can repair other Locos if I need to. But it's as you can see here, that's the spring that needs to go in. It's very fiddly, and as you can see by how small it is next to my finger, it was incredibly tedious trying to get it in there. So I put it on the end of a scalpel so I could get the end of it, because on the end that attaches to the coupling, you have to thread it through, because there is a hole that the spring needs to twist through in order for it to be secure. So as you can see on the other end of the coach, this is the one that didn't fling off, so I was using that to compare and make sure I was doing it how it needs to. So the left hand side of it that attaches to the coach was really simple, it just clips over the end. But as I've said already, it was incredibly fiddly trying to twist the spring through into the coupling section because of how small it was.